Hello YouTube, this is something a bit different. So, I've recently been playing Darktide again, and oh my god, this game has its claws in me like it's heresy. We're going to be doing some Darktide playthroughs. Maybe just some missions. We're going to have ourselves a fun time. As you can see over there on that side, I already have 3 level 30 characters. I have my Darius, my Psyker, Vanelli, my Veteran, Nork, my Ogrin, and Rosine, or Rosine probably, my Zealot. We're going to be playing some of our Zealot, largely because it's fun just to swing a big thing around. I could go with our Veteran. I like the drip that all of my characters have. Nork the Orc, particularly. Or Nork the Ogrin, I should say. But we're going to play some Rosine. This is one of the premium skins from way back in the day that came out that I purchased when this game was pretty new, I think. But make sure you hit like, comment, subscribe, and check everything out, because we're going to do some of this to end most subathon days, I think. Assuming that there's not something else that I have to do in the evenings. Which we'll see. We'll see what the situation is at the moment. I don't have any plans, so we'll see. This is just something for fun because I just did my Dispatch C playthrough, and I don't really want to just do an hour and a half of stream and then move on. We're going to go ahead and do this instead. We're going to play ourselves some Darktide, which I think is fun. There's some new weekly contracts available. I should check those out. Let me know what the volume is like, by the way. Maybe there needs to be a slight volume adjustment. Good. I do have the volume turned down quite a bit in most cases.
Are you quite sure you're ready for this?
8 missions, one mission, no player death, 4 monstrosity and plasteel. That's honestly super simple. So let me show you my operator build here. By the way, this is what the character looks like. Rosine is as short as you can make a character in this game. So then if we go over to, you can see here I have the heavy eviscerator, the Mark 15 Tigris. It is maxed out. It has 25% damage to maniacs, 10% melee crit hit damage, rampage, hitting at least 3 enemies with an attack increases your damage by 36%. Hitting at least 3 enemies with an attack increases your cleave by 200% for 3 seconds. I have a Godwin Branks Mark IV bolt pistol. I prefer the bolt pistol over the bolt gun, largely because it's a lot faster to reload. This has Deadly Accurate, which deals 100% critical weak spot damage, which is what you're usually doing with the bolt pistol. And then Glory Hunter is plus 30 toughness on elite kill, which yet again, you're usually using the these kind of guns to take out single hit targets. My curios are not particularly anything useful. There's two wounds, some extra order dockets in health, some revive speed. Honestly, these curios need to be adjusted, but I haven't bothered with that. This is the cosmetic loadout. Some emotes. Masteries, I've already mastered the heavy eviscerator, and I have mastered weapons wise the heavy last pistol. That's because my Psyker uses the heavy last pistol. I have maxed out the bolt pistol. The infantry last gun, I also have some in the quick draw, snub revolver, the combat shotgun, the auto gun, the spearhead bolter, the recon las gun. Melee weapons, not much here as you can see. Mostly just the heavy eviscerator and the assault chainsword, because I don't believe the power sword is in here. The relic blade is, though. Relic blade might be something I'll look into. But let me just make sure, actually. Can I turn off? Can I turn off voice chat for other people? Because I don't want to be hearing other people. muted. Yeah, that works. Oh, voice chat volume. Perfect. Let's jump in. So, oh Jesus. Okay. Last time I played this, I opened it up and it asked me if I wanted to replay the campaign for Tertium, and I had no idea what that was, so I said yes. Turns out they've added like a story progression to this game. So instead of just kind of jumping into it and being able to play missions and like, you know, doing whatever you want basically from the get-go, there's like a campaign that you can follow that gives you like a general story progression and unlocks the actual like shops and stuff like that much more naturally, which is kind of cool. So let's jump on into here. We're taking on the Karnak twins. I played this mission back when it came out as like a limited time event, or not a limited time event, but as an event. It was pretty cool. Let us.
Self-preservation is a luxury that none of you have earned.
Oh, nice Ogrin. Probably only do like 3, maybe 4 missions. I tend to find as well, by the way, that when I'm playing these missions, a lot of the time you just kind of go into them solo, and after a bit it's like, yeah, we're just going to pop you into a mission solo and you can find friends eventually. Let me just do this real quick. There we go. So yes, we're using the Eviscerator and the Bolt Gun. The only thing I changed about this Bolt Gun, if it had slightly less collateral, more damage, I'd be happy with it, but as a bolt pistol, I think it's pretty good. Yeah. Also, this is different, by the way. It has like actual panning and stuff. This is all much more entertaining. Kill order. I do like these intro scenes. I wonder just how fucked they're about to be, because I remember doing this on like one of the higher challenges and it was very tough. But yes, I've got the level 30 rank kit for that. I'm using the custom stuff for that. Ooh, medical stim. This thing's so fun to use. Just whoop. Whoop. Sending everyone flying. This is good stuff. There's a celery stim.
You'd be.
You sure about that?
Escaped. Perhaps that is for the best. Explicator, extract your strategy. They can still accomplish their mission. I have faith in them. As will you have faith in their corpses? You heard her. Walter knows. This is a trap. It is an opportunity. What? I warned you before about your obsession with Walter. This isn't obsession.
turn those guys into paste real quick. I don't find any plasteel or diamantine yet. That's annoying. I'd like some. That's a regeneration, not a regeneration pin, a recover.
I see Rin is tenderized you. My turn.
You are not in control here, Zelda. They are.
How you got?
Take your corruption from this place!
Data confirms that enemy forces are converging on the strike team's location. Then we keep moving. Stay ahead of them. You're not listening, Zelda. I applaud initiative, of course. But the Warband cannot afford willfulness. Grendel will not tolerate it. Grendel gave me a free hand. You know how we have labored to undermine Obi around. Everyone is expendable, yes, even this strike team. But if they die here and now in the trap you've blundered into, Wolfer will crow about it from the rooftops. You'll undo weeks of work.
Oh, we don't have to wait for this. That's nice. It's a nice change. Things already pre-deployed, which is probably a bad sign in the long term, right? Also, yeah, as you can see, the strike team is filled out as we've gone.
There's no path here.
Oh yeah. You guys ready for this? This is gonna be fun. Also, this is I should have shown you guys my build actually, but we'll do that after we finish this.
Just for you.
Just gotta start swinging. That's all it is. Uh-oh.
The time for healing is at hand! Medication station!
Oh, I need the grenades actually. Those are mine.
What a face you make!
Isn't the whole thing with Nurgle that you're not... Well, actually, they're not Nurgle, I guess.
If you want to extract your team, it must be now. I have to get to Wolfer. I have to know. Know? What? Very well. Executor Zealot, I relieve you of your responsibilities to this mission. No, you can't. You can't.
Thanks, Rannick.
Grenade!
Nice shot. Just keep swinging. There we go. That does the job.
Grenade!
Lieutenant Masusi, the strike team requires immediate extraction. Yes. Yes, I see. Understood. Alternate extraction is not available. The only way out is through. You're going to take no chances. No fancy work. No prisoners. Kill anyone in your path, including the twins. Their death will solve something from this error.
I'm swinging. Taking heads off. Dealing with crowds the only way I know how.
Surely you're not gonna turn back now. We're waiting in sub-level 4.
Mid-terminal!
Oh yeah, that's right. The whole lot of diamantine like around here, right? That's the whole thing. We'll take one of the med stims. That sounds good to me. Nice Krieger outfit.
Don't they look desperate, brother? If only we could make this last.
You never change, sister. Still playing with your food.
There's no flavor without sport.
You won't leave here alive.
Listen, I'm just here to fuck him up. So yeah, I don't know if those guys are actually Nurgle aligned or Chaos undivided, because usually if they're Nurgle, they'd have like a more outwardly facing, obvious things that make them look Nurgle aligned. Ah, fuck. Alright. That's better.
Have a taste of Torque's gas.
Just gotta keep swinging. Fuck, I'm down.
Need help, fanatic.
Your rage was not enough. I'll peel your skin inch by inch.
There we go, there's one. Oh, this motherfucker. So the one good thing about this build is that I deal enough damage quickly enough that healing is not usually much of a problem. Or at least maintaining my toughness isn't much of a problem. Other stuff can be, for sure.
Tidily accomplished. Your extraction is waiting. It's not exactly been textbook, but be assured, I'm very impressed by your.
That was close.
I am certain we will speak again soon.
Jesus. Go fund me, bot, please. Bot's not on. Sorry, that's my fault. Nice. What's up now?
I suppose all's well that ends in something other than complete and utter failure. The fall of the Karnax has only intensified the cultist further. I wonder why. Understand that while I am pleased at how you acquitted yourselves, Augustine will be stepping back from operations while she renews her perspective. We may be an unusual little band, but there must be discipline even here. Hopefully I won't have call to remind you of that. The Emperor protects.
Nice. So yes, this is what they've added in. They've added in these like really cool like interim cutscenes when you finish a mission that's in like the story. Oh, this is new. I've never seen this before.
Mobian 6th Infantry Regiment were ordered to Nox Alpha, a death world in the outer Mobian fringe, to quell an unknown uprising plaguing the planet. 50,000 of the Emperor's finest men and women. We had no idea what we were up against.
Oh, hey, Wolfer.
Captain, are these dogs ready to die?
Yes, sir.
I don't know what's worse, the enemy or that carking commissar.
I guess we'll find out soon enough. Now quiet down.
I've never actually seen this scene before. This is new to me.
Defeat was inevitable. We prepared to sell our lives for the Imperium. But as despair festered, a stranger walked among us.
I like their sixth symbol, by the way, on their right pauldron. That's very pretty.
Heretics! By the throne you will all pay for this!
Good, double tap them. Just make sure they don't get back up.
We were taught what it meant to be strong, to be blessed. And thus we became the true defenders of humanity. How will your false emperor protect you now?
Well, I don't know about the Emperor, but I do have this really fucking big chainsword. That does a great job.
Lord Margrave styles himself Tertian's savior. But at what price?
Nice.
May you remain strong.
Now. Oh, Cody, thank you for the donation to the GoFundMe. What would you like from the list of rewards, my friend? So as you see here, you can skip straight to this one, but you can actually do 15. Why can't we do 14? We can do 15. There's 14 and 16 there as well. But if I go, if I go to the campaign playlist here, this shows you like all the missions in a row. And as you can see, there are like different ones you can do that have like that are all happening at the same time. And then there's ones that are like, you know, culturally in thing. You are tired in bed and cannot remember the rewards. Give me 1 second. I will pause the recording and then I will go through this. And we're back. But yes, it shows you all of the important stuff. So for example, 13 we have to do before we can do 14. There's 15. There's 13, 14, 16, then 15, then 17, which is the last line of the do the 40 go on. No worries, I'll add that to it now. So if I do add time 40, that's updated. Perfect. So yes, this shows you like where the like, this is the Battle for Tertium playlist, but you can just play whatever missions you want once you've done this sort of stuff, which I like. Let's do Throne Site. Oh wait. Let me show you my build. We got a snub-nosed revolver, by the way, which I don't like the revolver in this game. So my talents, this is a, as you can see up here, it's a fist build. It's a strong build. It's a kick-ass build. So the idea is you do a lot of damage close up, and for example, you get blood redemption, so you get 100% toughness replenishment on melee kill. You replenish 15% toughness on a successful dodge. 20% damage versus infested and unyielding enemies. I have an immolation grenade because I thought that immolation would be nice to have a little bit of area of control. I've got melee attacks cannot stun you. I've got until death, fatal damage instead grants you invulnerability for 5 seconds. 4 melee damage for 5 seconds on hitting an enemy with a melee attack, stacks 5 times. 20% melee damage based on missing stamina. That hit at least 3 enemies, grant plus 8 impact strength for 8 seconds, stacks 5 times. At max stacks, I gain uninterruptible. I am plus 10% faster with my attacks. I have 20% block cost reduction while dodging. I have on block break, you are no longer stunned. Benediction. I have 15% toughness reduction for 50% toughness damage reduction for me and my allies in coherency. 20% extra toughness, and I also have Fury of the Faithful, which is dash forward, replenishing 50% toughness and gaining plus 20 attack speed. Your next melee hit grants 25% damage, has 100% rating, and is also guaranteed critical. Killing an elite or specialist of 5 seconds of using Fury Fury of the Faithful restores 20% cooldown. And then I have 2 charges. I also have 10% melee damage and 10% toughness damage reduction. I've also got Martyr's Purpose, 50% ability cooldown regeneration based on missing health. Max reach of 24%. I have 2 wounds extra. I have Martyrdom, which is 10% melee damage for every missing wound up to a maximum of 5 missing wounds. So I believe my character has 7 wounds because of the curios that I'm holding. So that's nice. And then the final few things I have here is On the Brink, 10% corruption resistance per stack, 6% attack speed per stack, and 5% toughness replenishment per stack. Martyred, I might switch in. I don't think I can. Oh no, I can have that as well. But I'm sort of going to stick with that, I think. But I would be tempted to take away like one of my skills to have that. There are options here though. Oh, this game has Stoic from Payday 2. On taking damage, heal 20% of that damage occurs over 4 seconds. There you go. But yes, that's the build. The build is basically a fun time. There's 13. So I'm probably going to do the rest of the campaign missions, or at least the campaign for Tertium missions, and then we'll call it that. I'm not going to stay up too late tonight because I do have to do adulting tomorrow. So yeah, thanks everyone for it, and thank you Cody for the very generous donation.
I must request more resources at Manufactory HL 1736. The secret of the right of...
Let's just see what weapons we have in here. Oh, they have thunder hammers. I know Midge really loves the thunder hammer, but it's not for me. You gotta go sleep. Office tomorrow. Enjoy destroying heretics. Thank you, Cody. You have a good night. Sleep well. I'll see you tomorrow evening if I'm streaming.
There is an old Aegis station in Enclave on Barros. We take it as our beachhead and hold for reinforcements. Interrogator Rannick entrusted me with this mission. I speak with his voice as he speaks with Grendel's. Do not forget that.
Understood. Time to kick ass. I do love how they've actually upgraded the basic guys to actually be, they're not just like straight out the gate roughnecks anymore. They are actually like moderately soldier looking people.
Be nicer hereabouts, don't you reckon?
Though throne site has fallen into decay, hints of greatness can still be glimpsed. If the Emperor is with us, we shall restore that which was lost.
Wail, heretics! The hour of judgment is at hand!
Your first objective is to reach the Skyling to Enclave on Barros. Expect resistance.
Don't hesitate. Don't run. Don't complain. Just do the job.
Raise your light blade!
That works. I'm always looking for more plasteel and stuff like that.
Get the team through this. What's all this we stuff? You're almost as bad as some of the zealots. You take that back. There ain't no call for that. I'll take it back if you earn it.
I am judgment this day! Beware me, heretics!
More places will be like this soon.
I'm a big fan of the bolt pistol because it means that I can take stuff out of range and not really have to worry too much about it.
The
Just
knights
turn a dude
will not interfere with
into
the
pace.
prosecution of this war.
I hear that. Leave the fighting.
But to those who hold the beneficent emperor close to their hearts,
If we must.
a regent coming! Judgment has been delivered!
Look for weak points.
Heresol! Who choose fury over faith!
Oh, hey, we got a friend. I know there's also those heretic idols, but I have no idea where they are. Mutant chat, mutant voice chat. There we go. I hate that I have to do that individually for every single person. It would be nice, game, if I could just, like, say that I'm not interested in having my game chat on.
I see Tox Flamer is dead!
That's a boss, I hear.
Mercy on your dying servant!
Enclave on Barros lies isolated. The bridge must be lowered.
But the trifling task! Holy word, Templar!
And where else would I? It's not as though I can simply leave.
Fair. Nope.
Kill the mutant! Nay!
The mechanism is without power. We must provide it.
Cleanse this place! One mutant at a time! Hurry! Barrel!
Oh, look. It's the ogre and matches my, my outfit. Hello, friend.
I have judged you for that!
Didn't notice that. That guy's been playing this game probably as long as I have, because this skin I don't think goes in rotation anymore. I don't actually know how it works.
The Emperor is with us. Already the mechanism hums with power.
Valid crash out, to be honest. You gotta split them in half sometimes. With ludicrously high caliber weapons.
The way is open. Onwards to glory.
Kill the ranger! Judgment has been delivered!
Your flame ebbs as is natural. Rekindle it with fervor.
Nice. More grenades.
Persian nobility should look to the needs of their people, not interfere in the Inquisition's business. I suspect he has his reasons.
Ah, but are they good reasons? Still, I suppose we will find out.
Not unlikely. No.
Have no fear, pilgrims. We are righteous.
Nature's dead.
The Raven delivered to judgment. Slay.
Turning them into paste. A little bit more plasteel.
That might have saved a life. Instead, it killed a scratch.
I'll tie them cigarettes. For another day.
I got you, big man.
What else did you expect?
Truly, you are the agent of death.
Mission never end. And you're stupid.
It's kind of funny, I won't lie. Sometimes this game is quite funny.
Stupid. Uneducated.
Sweep them up.
Without Regis and Sora, the Galatine Rift campaign would have ended in disaster.
Guess who that is? I suppose.
Tell me, Pooch, do you ever struggle to remember things?
Healing. Perhaps we will not be martyrs today after all. Praise be to the beneficent Emperor! Who will be the first to offer their thanks?
I was thankful for a moment. Quiet, as you
My gamer literally like, please shut the fuck up.
They look cozy.
Death is a mercy!
It's interesting seeing scabs and dregs so close to each other. Usually you don't see that. Maybe they've changed how things work in this. Pop. Goes the heretic. You booted off FM and your new star goalkeeper, he spent 1.6 and has fractured his arm. Yeah, that happens. That happens. In my last year of the Hempstead save, I don't know if I'm going to do another one. I don't know if it's worth it because FM24 is now officially dead news. Maybe I'll just play it in my spare time because I'm probably not going to buy FM26 for a while. But I had 3 goalkeepers, starting goalkeeper, 2 backups, and throughout the entire year, all of them were hurt at different times. So basically, I had my starting goalkeeper for the first like month of the season. He then got hurt for 2 months. Then my backup goalkeeper got hurt for like 2 weeks. So I was using my 3rd string goalkeeper. I had a youth player on the bench for a bit. It wasn't good, I will say. I will spawn camp heretics. Don't worry about that. FM24 might be good. Well, I hate 26 is getting. I watched a couple of videos on it, and it just kind of seems like people are really down on it because of the fact that it didn't get a lot of. It doesn't have a lot of the features, and the UI is apparently really fucky. FM26 has made it super toxic. I mean, I can see it. I'll put it this way. I've yet to see a Zealot video on the game at all. I know he's streaming it right now, but I've yet to see an edited video of his beta save. And he's usually super first about it. It's not a bad game, it's not as good as FM24, which as many people fail to realize has been fundamentally the same game, just updated for 20 years. Basically, yeah. Like, I can go from 24 to 22 to 20 to 18, and they mostly all function the same. There's like a little bit of expanded functionality and a little bit more quality of life in the newer games, sure, but they're still not great. Like, they're still basically the same game. Some of them just have better stuff in them. We got a curio. Most devs currently at SI would have never made a new FM game before they updated what they already had. Exactly.
Another acceptable outcome. I'm starting to think I'm being set up for some kind of terrible joke. However, with the Aegis station back in the Mobian 21st hands, we can look at expanding our efforts in Throneside. I trust that my protege was both commanding and discreet. I guessed, of course. I see everything. Never forget that. It's good to have reliable underlings, I find. Do bear that in mind. I have high hopes for Hestia, and for you. The Emperor protects.
Yeah, like Miles Jacobson is probably the only one who actually, well, I don't even know if he's a dev.
Glad that fellow Kral is now offering a personality scourge service to our rejects.
Sorry, friend. Not right now. I will, however, send you a friend request, because you were absolutely lovely. But yeah, like Miles Jacobson, I think built from Championship Manager to Football Manager way back in the day, but like that's arguably not the same thing.
Tell me of your deeds, so that I may record them. Let hatred guide you.
Damn. I love the Arbites. They look so cool. Look at that good dog. Look at that good dog. But yeah, like I find it very difficult to not necessarily not. I don't find it very difficult to not care, right? Because FM is not on my to play list. I probably won't play it this year. But what I really found difficult was when Jack was talking about it in his video. Jack being Work the Space. He was talking about how, like, when he's playing it on mouse and keyboard, it feels less intuitive than when he's tried it with a controller, which feels weird to him. And like his whole thing is that, like, they think, you know, you've combined the PC and console version into one thing, so that way you don't have to work on two separate code bases at the same time. Basically, you don't have a mobile or console version and a PC version. You now just have a PC version that you put on on console as well. It's like we were discussing earlier. So you jump from CK2 to CK3, but CK3 is getting stuff re-added to it. Yes. No, they did. Miles Jacobson did mention in an interview. He did with Work the Space, funnily enough, that there will be like free content updates that will add new stuff back into the game throughout the year. But there we are. Also, Gary's the Braid, aka John Garius, was talking on Blue Sky with me earlier, and he agreed with me on the CK2 to CK3 jump, but they got the CK3 right when they jumped it, because it's the same game under the hood. The UI is just different on console, is the thing. Like, the UI basically works very differently on console compared to how it does on PC, and that would probably have been the better way to do it. It would have been to have two separate UIs, one for the console version and one for the PC version.
What is the meaning of this?
Hey, Sir Milk.
Interfering with inquisitorial business.
Quiet down, Elf. No one cares.
Grendel shall hear of this.
Hello, friends.
Yeah, very interesting, I'm sure. Strike team, head off to the maintenance Tidings. There's good fellows.
No result, and you will know victory!
It's also a marketing thing to make everything look the same. I suppose so, right? You kind of want your PC and console versions to look moderately the same, but I've seen CK3's console version, and that shit does not look anything like the PC version when it comes to its UI.
Guiding hand.
How about the UI is don't just spending dev time on a second UI? That's fair, right? I mean, to be fair, you could have made the PC UI just last year, just FM24's PC UI just prettier. And that would have worked. And then you could have worked on making a UI for the console version.
Barely a scratch on that tank. Looks like an old model. I wonder what fire.
Also, I would, I'm not one to talk. I've never played Crusader Kings on a console. I don't even know if it's, I don't even know if I would be able to play it on console given how used I am to PC controls. Oh, it's a Tox Grenader. Also, everyone's main complaint is the UI, but who actually uses the default UI in 24? I mean, I'm sure some people did. Like, I use the default UI in a lot of, in FM 18, in FM 20, in FM 20, no, sorry, in FM 18.
Oh, don't be scared. Power's off, I think.
In FM 18 and 20. In 22 I use Zealot skin, and in 24 I use Zealot skin, but I also didn't use Zealot skin for most of FM 22. So, also there is the not too far off decision that maybe the UI just isn't fixable, because they might change the UI in the game and that will break all the skins, which is why skinning isn't supported officially in this year's FM. They couldn't do that because they had to build a UI from scratch in Unity, so only doing one UI for everything made sense at the minute, but they just needed to make a PC one later. Yeah, that's possible. Nice. I mean, from what I've seen, I'll be honest, right? I've not watched any streams of it. I've not watched, like, major stuff from FM24 yet. So, like, I couldn't tell you really if there's, like, a big thing that makes me go, oh yeah, this is very different. All I've really seen is videos, like, edited down videos. So I don't really know if it's like the same, or if there's a huge thing about it, or like how people feel about it in a long-term setting. Your understanding reskinning isn't available because we usually need to develop an external tool like an editor, which again requires more dev time. That or someone will make it the external tool, which might happen. Well, he's in halves. That's usually what happens with these things, right? Is that if you need like an external tool, like I don't know if you guys know this, but when I modded Mass Effect Legendary Edition, there is actually a tool built for modding the Mass Effect games. Yeah, that's what I think. I think a fan in like 3 months from now will have a skinning tool made. Maybe less time than that even. And that'll be the moment where everyone kind of falls in love with FM26 because of all the UI tools. And like the customization available to it. Because if they've actually made the base of the game, like if they've actually made like the code base underneath the UI relatively consistent and simple to understand and to adjust, it'll be 100% easier. It'll be 100% more like approachable as a UI modding tool than most other things. Yet again, watching Work the Spaces video while I was having my dinner during my little mini break between streams, the situation that he says is that he's not sure if he wants to mod it, if he wants to actually make a skin this year, because not only is skinning not officially supported, but also he doesn't feel passionate about it this year. He's like, it just sort of feels like a waste of time for him. That's how I felt he felt about it anyway when he was talking about it. I could be wrong. I could be misconstruing his words, but that's what I got when I was listening to him. Sounds good to me. Anything good in here? Ooh. Some diamantine. Delicious. The UI feels like different parts is made by different people. It's going to be like that with EU5 as well. God help Midge. God, I feel bad for Midge. Then again, you never know. People might like the UI. Something else might be the problem with EU5. I literally have no way up to help that person.
To the throne with you, bomber!
I am all on my own. Turn for about 20 minutes. How goes the purge? It's not going too bad. It's going alright. It's going alright.
Hey, don't you go getting lost down there.
I mean, I'm kind of curious, right? Because I know Midge is currently at something right now for work. So we'll see.
Face your judgment, Trump!
Turned into paste.
Face be that rise! Heretics remain to be slain! You must fight, veteran!
I was sure that I picked him up.
See the patina on the rails. Substandard materials. Exploration. Painful.
We have a moment. Lead us in prayer.
Don't you go blowing this now. You do want to stay in my good graces.
Such a small favor to earn. Hardly seems worth the bother.
Ammo! Say
whatever you need.
Yoo-hoo! Who wants this grenade?
Grenade!
I am vaguely wondering what EU5 is going to be like. Because I've not watched anything. Because I'll be honest, I don't really have much interest in Paradox games anymore. I play a little bit of Crusader Kings 3 on occasion, mostly for the modding scene. I've not opened up EU4 since probably 2020, maybe earlier than that.
Time for healing is at hand. Hammer!
I've just not really been interested in anything Paradox have been doing.
Instead, you killed a scratch.
Me? I don't sneak anywhere. Just because I don't stomp around like an orphan.
That ain't my fault. It's these boots. They're too heavy.
Yes, yes, yes. A likely story.
No more head
You love the PDX games, but for some reason you have absolutely no interest in EU5. EU4, I had a lot of... EU4 probably had the highest learning curve for me. Even though I'm still really bad at CK3. EU4 had the highest learning curve for me. It took the longest for me to kind of start getting EU4. And I think that's probably why. Because EU5 will have so many different mechanics. It'll add in whole new mechanics. It'll change a bunch of things. It'll make the game entirely new. And that means that anything you've learned from EU4 is just forget about it. It doesn't matter anymore. You're going into a brand new game. Kind of like people going from CK2 to CK3 or Vicky 2 to Vicky 3. At least that's what I think. I could be wrong. That's a long time ago. I mean, I was working last time I played EU4 through, like I played a proper run of EU4. I was probably working security still. I might have been sitting in a place that had internet connection and an actual charging port for me to use. Which is a rare experience for me. The last time I think I played through EU4, I think was 2019. Legitimately. Like, that was the last time that I put actual heavy hours into EU4. And I've not bought a DLC for it since. I've not bought a CK3 DLC in a long time. Oh. I've not bought a Stellaris DLC in fucking years. I'm not giving Paradox money in a very long time. Which some people might say is a good thing. We played a lot of EU 1 to 3. Never played EU 1, 2, or 3. Also, hi Wolven. Welcome to the party. We had a LAN party for playing EU2 all weekend, man. No, we were just talking about how EU5 is out next week. And how I have no interest in it and Anto has no interest in it. Also, Red, I did watch the Dispatch episode 3 and 4 teaser. That was fun. Little 45-second video. Just a nice time. Haven't had real interest in EU series after 3, really. Fair. Fair. We were talking about it because we were talking initially about the situation with FM26 and how that game's UI is killing it. Oh, hey. Thanks for gifting Wolven a sub. That actually adds time to the timer. Would you look at that? Paradox usually makes good grand strategy games, so it's probably worth getting at some point. I mean, maybe. I used to be a absolute fiend for Stellaris. Stellaris was my favorite Paradox game for a long time. Ow, I dodged into that one. Stellaris was your first PDX game. It's a great PDX game, honestly. Stellaris is great for the first 15 hours of a run, then it stops working. Stellaris is great until you try to do anything that isn't warmongering. If you're not willing to play a lot of Stellaris as a warmongering civ, you're basically stuck. You've been dabbling in Hoi 4 and in Crusader Kings 2 and 3. I really like Crusader Kings 3. It's a lot of fun. Your issue with Stars is they fundamentally change the game every 2 to 3 years. You can't be arsed having to relearn it. I mean, I get that for sure. They've also like started adding a bunch of like AI shit to it. Like they've started adding in AI voices and like imagery and shit. And I'm just like, I can't be bothered with this anymore. You played a lot of Stellaris and had 2 expansions. Same.
I confess that I'm somewhat conflicted. I know that Morrow gave you one of his little warnings about loyalty, betrayal, and woeful inevitable consequences, but still you decided to swan around like a pirate at this Halloween woman's request.
And it has about 50% expansions about that, yeah.
You work for me, not the Commodore, not the ship mistress, not Hadron, not Swagger, not even Morrow. Me. I do hope our working relationship isn't going to end with me manfully refusing to shed a tear over your executed corpse. The Emperor protects.
Nice. But yeah, Stellaris' expansion count is stupid. Hoi is the only PDX franchise you've never played. I've never played Hoi. I've never played Vicky. I've never played City Skylines. That's another Paradox thing. God, what else? Yeah, there's a bunch of things there.
The noble houses of Tertium are not. Farewell.
Farewell.
A little air, please. I have no wish to share your enviable aroma.
I already killed 2 monstrosities. There we go. Yeah, there's too many expansions. It's kind of funny with AI. 20 years ago, I would have killed to have AI that responded with voice and amateur player input. Now it's possible, but the way LLMs are made and used is so scummy, I can't get behind it, even those positive versions of the current style. That's valid. Alright. Anything else in here? Not really. Pumpkin time. Have fun purging. Good night, Red. See you tomorrow for some more streaming. We'll leave that as is. We'll do 1 or 2 more missions, I think. It's also really annoying trying to find work with everything going on that way. So yes, Wolven, I don't know if you've played this game recently. Neither, I know Anto hasn't either, but this is actually like what they've done. So when I loaded in with this character, because I hadn't played this character in months at this point, maybe even a year, they've added in like an actual Battle for Tertium campaign like playlist. So like if you wanted to play through what this game considers its story, it gives you like an actual path here, and like things branch out. So like certain things are happening at the same time. There's like actual cutscenes. So for example, like the cutscene you just watched comes after No Quarter. Comes after Stolen Goods. And it plays you a little cutscene that says, hey, you know, this is the thing. And it kind of introduces the characters a lot more earlier on than they do in the original story. Like in the original like introduction to the game. You also unlock... I think you unlock every single vendor by rank 9, I think. By mission 9. Which makes it a lot easier to like get stuff you want. It actually has story now. It's always had a story. It's just the story was super disjointed and hard to figure out. But they've actually added in like a way to experience this game's like story. Like the way that they want to play it. Like the lore to the game in that way. Which is kind of nice. So like some of the events that they've done throughout the game's 3 years of development and existence, they've added into the game as like an actual story point along the way. There's also a cutscene I think that plays. I think it's after this mission. It's either after this mission or this mission where you see how Wolfer fell to chaos and the Mobian 6 fell to chaos, and it's actually quite a good like little cinematic story. It's actually kind of worth watching. Malice. Let's do this. There's also the Commissar Duquesne, who's over here.
All signs point to the Mobians not working alone in this little disaster. They've got help on the inside.
And your last bit of the story was someone telling you the myriad of ways you suck and then you should be shot, but you could be of use, so they won't. I mean, that still kind of applies, right? It's the Imperium. But in this case, there's actually, like, interaction between the major players on the Morning Star and stuff like that.
That's right. You're still going through the service entrance. Hang in there.
The last time you played was when you all played together. Yeah, that was a while ago now. There's also new enemies in this. There's a new mini boss. There's the Chaos Spawn. There's new regular enemies. There's a Plasma Gunner. December 5th, 2022. That's crazy. That wasn't the last time I played it. I played it with Midge, Dax, and Rally.
Freedom brings its own temptations.
Temptation has no grasp on me. My will is of iron, because my soul is pure.
Iron crows, does it not? Perhaps your soul too needs scarring clean.
Whatever comes next.
Pretty much the same. You think you logged in when they updated the skill tree system. It's worth checking out. The skill tree system has been changed, obviously, but they've also like adjusted a bunch of weapon progression. I'll show you all the weapon progression stuff once we get out of this mission, because it's 100% like worth looking into it now as a game to play, especially if you enjoy this kind of game mode, like this game style. Yes, that's a plasma gunner, by the way. There's Chaos Plasma Gunners now. Which means you're not the only one slinging plasma anymore. They're plasma now? Yeah, they have plasma. They added in weapons now. They've added in new weapons for the traders, so like plasma. They've also added in I think a new subtype of enemy. Not a new subtype, a new like elite enemy. And they've added in a new mini boss, the Chaos Spawn. There's also a new class. I used to always go back and play Vermintide for some reason. Never got the itch with this one. I never played Vermintide. Never intrigued me because I didn't like the fantasy setting. I don't like Warhammer Fantasy. It's not for me. I'm much more into the Safash stuff. But yeah, they've added in some new stuff. There's a new class that they've added. They added an Arbiters class, so there's now the Judge Dredd references in the game. There's the they're going to be adding in a new class, or like they're announcing a new class next week or next month as well. So there's a whole thing. There's a whole like new. They're adding a bunch of things to make the game more playable and more varied. Like I really like the Arbiters. I thought they're a very cool class. TBTH. An old guy you worked with was shocked. You know what Blood Bowl was? I played the Blood Bowl 2, and my local game store sometimes runs like they might run a Blood Bowl league every 2 years.
The heretics cannot stand against our faith. Something new for the collection. Silence, hound.
You had the OG Blood Bowl tabletop in your old place of work. Cool. We destroyed a heretical art thing. Never noticed it. They've also added in new maps and stuff. That's true. I forgot about that. This is something that they've added in recently. There's a couple new like mission types as well. So there's some more variety, I suppose would be the way to put it.
Everything has value to someone, and we need this place kept intact.
Press on through the cogitator, all, but keep your eyes open.
Fun stuff. Oh yeah, and if you press tab, it tells you everything as well. So this is like this is the special condition and my talents that are working, and like there's a special event on right now, but I'm ignoring it because I'm doing this stuff instead. But that's always fun. Your favorite Warhammer game at the minute is Inquisitor. Is that the Diablo style one? That's the right one I'm thinking of, isn't it? That's the Diablo style one with like the looting and the shooting and the hacking and the slashing and stuff.
We must stay together. This is the way.
Yes, Diablo, but good. Fair. Fair. You got the new Road Trader ready and waiting. Free time is just not taken up by LARP or Elite Dangerous. Valid. I'll be playing that on stream at some point in the future. Cody bought it for me very nicely. So yeah, we're playing Pathfinder Kingmaker. We'll be playing Wrath of the Righteous after that, and then we'll be moving straight on to Rogue Trader. It's a lot of CRPG. Kingmaker lost you midway with slow pacing. It is relatively slow paced. But I think I've just gotten to the point now where I'm a little bit past halfway. Did you manage to beat the undead Cyclopses, Wolven? Did you manage to get to that point? Did you beat Vortigoth, or did you give up before that? You don't think you got that far? Yeah. We've just gotten past a major plot point. Wrath of the Righteous is a bit better. Yeah, Wrath of the Righteous has much better pacing, I will say.
We are safest together, pilgrims.
But yeah, Kingmaker has its moments where like today on stream, for example, I streamed for a little bit over. I think I played 6 hours. I think about 5.5, 6 hours today of Kingmaker, and I took literally at one point I was like, listen, I just gotta take like time here to just develop my kingdom. You ever played Kingmaker yourself, but you watched Roach's Let's Play? God, that goes to show how old that game is. That came out when Roach was still making YouTube content. Roach hasn't made YouTube content in like 5 years. Or 4 years. When was the last time she uploaded a YouTube video?
Safety in numbers, folks. Group up.
Nice hat.
Zealot, you need to. Has anyone seen a hound?
4 years ago. Oh my god. It has been time.
Pay attention. Scanning protocols engaged. This is the primary search location. Deploy your auspexes and remain alert for data points. The server skull awaits your data. We await your replies. There's nothing more for you here.
Roach had an 83 episodes Let's Play of Kingmaker 5 years ago. How long were the episodes on average? Like an hour? Maybe a bit longer than that. I don't know. How long is the playlist? That's probably a decent way to figure that out.
Proceed. Acquire new data.
50 minutes. Maybe Roach edited out a bunch of stuff, because like we've been going for close to 60 hours, I think, and I don't think we're near the end yet.
The server skull is waiting for your data upload. Additional data required.
She did some in-between bits. Ah, that's fair. Yeah, fair. Valid. I mean, to be fair, I'm sure if I did the same thing, if I took my VODs and I edited them to be like concise, I'm sure that I could get like 30-minute videos of much more condensed content. But that's a lot of work.
Do upload your data for the server skull varlets. Life is such a fleeting pleasure.
But yeah, I'm surprised that it's been that long. Then again, it makes some sense because the last time I would have watched Roach content would have been yet again when I work security. So makes some sense that it's been that long. Found him. Nice. Praise the Emperor. Nice. And bringing up a lot of stuff that happened like 5 years ago today, between the stuff with the EU4 and not having played it for 5 years, not watch last time Roach uploaded content. Good lord, good lord. It has been time.
I don't know any more than you do about this supposed traitor, but you've made war for an unhappy man all over again, and that's good enough for me. You're starting to make yourself a bit of a reputation. Rennick almost did that thing that looks a bit like a smile. Only for a bit, mind, and he went straight back to staring at his data slate. He's been doing that a lot lately. Could be something, could be nothing. But I'd keep your head down if I were you. You'll thank me later.
Thanks, Morrow. I appreciate that. A new penitence is available. Oh, before you go to bed, Wolven, hang on, before you go to bed. It'll be really quick, don't worry. So before you go to bed, let me grab the worst gun here. So this snub revolver. This is how the new upgrade system works. Your weapon starts out with a... Your weapon potential is always... basically, max rank is always the same. It's always 500. 500 is always the same. However, what's different is the stats in this bit in the middle. So, for example, this quick draw snub revolver has maximum damage because you can only ever get to 80%. 70% reload speed, 78% critical bonus, 72% mobility, and 80% penetration. But then as you would upgrade it, it would get closer and closer to the maximum value. So, for example, with the bolt pistol here, let me buy a cheap, shitty bolt pistol out of the armory, and I'll show you. Because you can just do that nowadays. You can also do that as well. You can go to Brunt's Armory here and buy any weapon you want, which is super nice. Let's just see. Did they have a bolt pistol in here? They had one earlier, didn't they? They do not. Oh, wait, hang on. They do. They have this one. Yeah. Let me show you. So let me grab it. It is 17,000, which is a bit expensive. But then if I go over to Hadron here, I can go to my pistols, I can go to my ranged weapons, and I can find the Godwin Branks Mark IV bolt pistol. I can consecrate it, which levels it up, which goes from anointed to exalted to transcendent, which unlocks more perks and more blessings. However, that doesn't make it better in the sense of that it doesn't deal more damage, it doesn't have better reload speed, doesn't have better mobility, doesn't have better collateral or stability. What you want to do that is you want to empower. Empowering increases all of your modifiers across the board until they are maxed out, at which point the power level maxes out at 500. Now, depending on your playstyle, you might want to find different weapons, for example, that work for you a bit better. But there are options, and it actually makes it a little bit easier to get what you want. So if you really like weapons, you can just stick with it. However, if you don't like the guns you have, and you just want to level up a gun you do like, you can sacrifice guns and weapons to that weapon. You get less XP for it. And if you sacrifice a weapon of the same type, you get more, for example. So we actually don't get very much XP for this, but this is as an example. If you have a bunch of things in your inventory you don't like, you can sacrifice them, and you get masteries for that. What masteries do is what masteries do is what masteries do is what masteries do is what masteries do. What masteries do is they allow you to upgrade your weapon, and they let you lock better blessings. They let you unlock better blessings. So, for example, I can't unlock the tier 3 headhunter trait until I have basically this filled out. So I need to spend stuff on tier 1 and tier 2 traits until I hit that point, at which point I can unlock tier 3 blessings. I can also rank this up to power cap of 200. So for example, if you have an infantry las gun that's below 200 power, which I won't have because I am class level 30, but if you have something, say, that's below 200, which is not too common, well, not too uncommon early on, exactly, and that allows you to level stuff up and keep them there. So for example, this eviscerator didn't start out with damage, cleave, shredder, mobility at 80 and penetration at 60. It started with like damage at 75 out of 80, cleave at 60, shredder at 70, mobility at 20, and then penetration at 40, whatever it may be. And then when you empower it, because you have the right level of mastery from using the weapon, you can level it up, and you can change the perks and the blessings to suit your playstyle and your character build, which is a lot more intuitive than the old system. So there you go. That's how it works. Which basically means that you no longer have to worry about rolling the dice and hoping that you get a weapon that you like with the perks that you like. You now just get them whenever you want them. You can change everything here at Hadron Shrine for usually just a cost of money. Sometimes it might cost, so like changing perks only costs money. You used to be able to change the perks and blessings, but you hunted for the better roll of the stats. Yeah, now you just, like, for example, this heavy eviscerator would, the only reason why I'm not using that is because it has lower damage. Like, it has better cleave, it has better penetration, lower damage and mobility, but I like the fact that this has really high damage, really high cleave, shredder, and mobility, which makes it really easy for me to use. And you can also, you don't have to worry about being locked out of refining things. You can just constantly do it over and over and over again. There's no limit to things anymore, which is super nice. So, for example, if I consecrated this casket, I would get a new perk, and it would only cost me diamantine and plasteel, which I have a lot of these days. I must have double clicked. That's fine. I got revive ally speed, which is whatever, and then we got toughness regeneration. It's now 400, and now you can basically change it for whenever you want to. If you're like, I don't like that shrine I don't like this thing anymore, I want to change it, you can. That's it, really. It's a lot easier to get weapons you like, because if you roll a weapon, say early on, that you like, that has the things you like, you keep it. Also, you don't need to worry about finding the particular mark you like either, because you can change it from the menu here. The only thing you need is to have the right mastery level, I think. So let me grab the tactical axe here. It has 3 marks. I've only got 2 unlocked. But there are 3 of them. And I need... What rank do I need? In mastery rank 10 to get this one. But yeah, it's all a lot more intuitive than it used to be. It's a lot easier to play and get through it and have fun. It was a lot grindier before. I mean, I have a lot of plasteel and I have a lot of... I don't have a lot, but I have a decent amount of plasteel, a decent amount of diamantine. But you got to remember, I spent a bunch of that on upgrading the eviscerator and the bolt pistol that I have. Also, all of your money is... All of this stuff is now... This happened, I think, before you stopped playing. But I think all of your money is now, like, combined. So if you have... Like, if you're like me and you have 4 operators who are level 30, you know, having a bunch of money and stuff like that is probably not too difficult. But yes, you can do masteries, and masteries are a legitimately great addition to this game. It makes the game a lot more playable. They also overlap in classes. So for example, the heavy last pistol I have maxed out, but I've never used a heavy last pistol with this Zealot. The heavy last pistol I have used with my Psyker. I used it basically entirely with my Psyker. Same with the infantry las gun. I've only ever used... Well, I've used a couple of different variants of it with my Psyker, and I've also used mostly with my veteran. I've only ever played and leveled a single operator. So it might be a little bit more grindy for you then, because it used to be where you just had to hopefully get a gun or get a curio or get a weapon you like that's also got good stats. You just had to roll and hope you could get it.
Speak to me of your accomplishments.
Also, there's this now as well. You get like emotes and stuff like that from the penitences, as opposed to not doing it before, as opposed to getting nothing before, basically. So there's also this stuff, the shrine, the masteries, that's all retroactive. So if you've used a weapon a lot and you jump back into it, you will probably have a decent amount of XP in those weapons. How many more missions do we have left in the campaign? Is it 2? Yeah, we have 16 and 17. It's actually a bit late for me. Can Wolven go to bed now? Yeah, I'm going to go to bed too. So I'm going to call it there. Thank you for the support today, folks. Make sure you check out everything else going on the channel, YouTube. We'll see you next time.